This morning, I'm going to be introducing a few different people to you, and first, I would like to take a moment for a few housekeeping messages. So first of all, we'd like to start off by thanking our sponsors. You will see that they are shown on the rotating slides. They are also in your program, and many of them have vendor tables outside. We have been able to offer this event free of charge due to both sponsors within the institution, different institutes at Wake Forest School of Medicine and Wake Forest University, as well as very generous contributions from community organizations as well. So if you're appreciating this event, please let the sponsors know. We appreciate them very much. I'd also like to thank the support committee and the staff at Bridger Fieldhouse for the wonderful job they've done organizing. I'd like to mention that there is wireless access and that the code is on the rotating slides. And also just to remind everyone to please turn off your cell phones if you haven't, and maybe double check if you think you have, if you're like me. Last thing, there are two small changes to the program. One is that Charlie Sabatino this afternoon is speaking at 2:15, and we will mention that again at the lunch break. Also, this morning, we are going to show, Suzanne Kraft is going to introduce introduce Dan Gaspey after the Native American film, so that's just a minor switch. Last mention, at lunch, we have a lot of fun things happening. We did yesterday too, and I hope you take advantage of them. So some of our amazing speakers have books that are for sale. Dan Gaspey will be available to sign his book after he does a book club. He is having a book club for people who have registered ahead of time, and you will know that if you have an orange dot on your name badge. The book club is going to take place in this room over to the left, where you see windows. It's on my left, your right. Also at lunchtime, we're having a wonderful narrative medicine workshop that's going to be taking place in this back corner, again, my left and your right. And you will know that you have registered for that if you have a yellow dot on your name badge. Also at lunchtime, you will notice that we have scientific posters on your left and on your right. I encourage you to go to these. There are some wonderful presenters who are talking about their work. They'll talk with you face-to-face and one-on-one and answer your questions, and it's a really great opportunity to have that kind of interaction. During lunch, out on the patio area, there are going to be people from Healing Touch for our Center for Integrative Medicine, and they are amazing. I would really encourage you to take advantage of that. And also out there, the Creative Aging Network has a display of rocking chairs that are part of a challenge to decorate rocking chairs to challenge ideas of aging. We're going to be moving them at the end of lunch, so if you haven't seen them, I would encourage you to take a look. And now it is my pleasure to introduce Charlene Hunt and Deb Burkham. They have been working on a really interesting project. So one thing that came up yesterday, and it's going to come up again today, is the fact that Alzheimer's disease is a devastating disease that can affect people of minority background disproportionately. And one of those communities is the Native American community, and it's very little talked about, but these people, our people here, Charlene and Deb and others in our Alzheimer's Center, have really reached out to this community, and they're going to talk to you about that project and show you a brief film clip that was made just for this presentation today.
So thank you very much for that introduction. So good morning. Good morning. How is everybody? Good, good. So first, let me introduce myself. My name is Charlene Hunt, and what I always have to say after that is I'm a proud member of the Lumbee tribe here in North Carolina. So how many of you know that North Carolina is home to the largest American Indian population east of the Mississippi River? Okay, I'm impressed. You've done your work. So I work at the Maya Angelou Center for Health Equity, and housed in the Maya Angelou Center is the North Carolina American Indian Health Board. And I work with all the tribes here in North Carolina. And one of my passions is what this film talks about, because it directly affects me. My father battles this. So this is very near and dear to my heart. And we've created several things. One of the things that we created recently before this video was a memory loss booklet, specifically in American Indian communities. And this is available at the Maya Angelou Center. You can get copies of it. And it's told from a storytelling perspective, because as Native people, we're storytellers. that's our nature. And it actually has the story of me and my father in here. And now I'm going to turn it over to Deb so she can introduce the film.
Thanks, Harleen. So this truly has been a labor of love. Obviously, working with Charlene, Ronnie Bell, and everybody else over at Maya Angelou has been nothing short of a delight. And so it's the North Carolina American Indian Health Board, along with our Alzheimer's Research Program, the Alzheimer's Disease Center Research Center at the Stick Center for Healthy Aging and Alzheimer's Prevention, have collaborated to create this film. And we've partnered with the Carolina Geriatrics Workforce Enhancement Program at UNC Chapel Hill. Now, what this is a depiction, a storytelling, as Charlene said, of some of the different and unique challenges that maybe American Indians encounter when they have a loved one facing Alzheimer's, going down that journey. So without further ado, we'd like to show this video. And understand, please, this is a very short clip of what will ultimately be about a 30-minute presentation. So you're getting kind of a director's first cut look at this.
So dementia is an umbrella term, for a disease process related to memory loss that affects daily life. And that's actually very important, that criteria, that it affect your daily life, because you can have age-related, temporary, memory loss, just like misplacing things or, walking into a room, which I do, and be like, what was I coming in here for? But when it gets to the point that it's, affecting your daily life, that's when, you start to think about these different types of dementia. Did you get him the weighted utensils?
Oh, yeah, sorry.
That's okay. So how's that going? Is he doing
Yeah, he's able to self-feed, keeps the majority of the food on the utensils.
Okay.
He's getting into his mouth.
That's what the nurse's notes say too. They look like he's doing good with that. So especially if I'm making the diagnosis, I will say this is mixed dementia, or this looks like Alzheimer's dementia, or this is dementia associated with Parkinson's disease. But I get asked the question all the time, what is the difference between dementia and Alzheimer's? And I say, there isn't a difference. Alzheimer's is a type of dementia. Are you going to any activities?
Yeah,
Where have you been going to?
movies.
Movies?
Yeah,
They took y'all out to the movies?
no.
Oh, you watched it here?
Right.
Sometimes they take y'all to the movies too, you know that, right? At first, when I really got into the, bread and butter of this, I was focusing on education, and people were demanding it. And so I thought, okay, that's what we'll focus on. Thinking that, okay, if you have more training, then you'll be more comfortable with managing, these diseases, with diagnosing it. But that has not been what we found after providing this education. What I have found is family members, community resources, nurses, those are the people who do the best at recognizing when there's an issue and bringing it up, to the provider.
In our family, my grandmother, at that time they said she got like that, kind of called dementia, not Alzheimer's, but they call it hardening of the arteries. You weren't getting enough oxygen to your brain and caused you to change, and that was kind of it. And then my mom's older sister, she had it, and not quite as severe as my mom, and she didn't live as long as my mom, I don't think. But, but we came with a better understanding of this is a disease, and, it's not just somebody's going crazy, somebody's going off the deep end.
Let's give our team a round of applause.
When we first started dealing with Mom, we would ask questions trying to find out, hey, what's going on with Mom, and stuff like that. And a lot of times other people didn't know that. And I guess to us in this area, to me, dementia was a thing that we really didn't know a lot about until we actually had to face it ourselves, you know. It's a thing that, like I say, it's something when you get into it, you wonder, what do I do today? What do I do tomorrow?
When I went out to check on her, sometimes she would just walk around and just talk. I remember one night I stayed till after, I guess it was after 2 o'clock. He said he was wondering where I was at. But she was just from one thing to the other. I know who take care of me. I don't care what nobody said.
Probably for about 5 years, we noticed that she was having some confusion. When we would go to church and her cake plate would suddenly be put in the wrong place, she just would go off the mat with that. Little things like that didn't used to bother her. And then as it progressed and she became more confused, and then she fell and broke her hip, and I had some health issues and wasn't able to take care of her at home, so we had to make some decisions, and so we placed her in a memory care facility.
So what have you been doing this morning?
Yeah, well, when we started noticing her Alzheimer's or her forgetfulness or her confusion, it wasn't difficult for us to find community, to find resources, because we were connected in some ways. However, I think the emotional support that once Danny and Philip's mother came to the same facility where my mother is, our emotional support just went up tremendously because we're so rooted with them and they know where we come from.
We already know that diabetes is, a serious problem, is of higher prevalence and incidence in Native populations. It doesn't take a lot of extrapolation to realize that vascular dementia is definitely a significant, issue in our populations. We have more violence. We have, a greater history of these traumatic brain injuries, which can cause serious, complications with neurocognitive disorders. We have a lot of liver disease, cirrhosis, which causes its own kind of, memory loss and cognitive issues. So there are a lot of things to consider in Native populations that make the presence of dementia different. It's just that we don't have, lots of data to back that up.
Do you need anything?
Huh?
Do you need anything?
Yeah, give me some of your money.
Some of my money? God, you're the second person that said that to me today.
What?
That they needed money. Okay. You be good and I'll see you later, alrighty?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. I'm gonna put your hat back there, okay?
Yeah.
So it stays safe. Okay.
Come back again.
I will. Is that good for you? You got water in there still.
You got water in.
Yeah, you drink it, okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Promise?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, I'll see you later.
Okay.
Okay.
Sprinkled it with salt and pepper, drizzled it with olive oil, and put it on the grill until it was nice and soft. Hey, oh my gosh, you're here. Hey, how are you? I'm so excited to see you. Good to see you. Christine, I'm so glad you're here. Oh my gosh, how was the drive?
We will keep everybody posted when the final version is done. We can't wait to share it with you. Thanks.